So we're at it again. Well, actually, one of our very favorite things to do. We love doing the show, we love doing the podcast, but we get so much enjoyment, so much just recharging by not only doing a great drive, but taking so many of you with us. We're doing our Beartooth trip. One of our very favorite roads in the nation is Beartooth Pass, which is up at the border of Wyoming and Montana.
We've got a long line of cars. Look at this line stretching out behind me. We have left Park City and we're working our way up through the mountains towards Evanston, Wyoming to get north to Jackson. It's nice to be out here and just enjoying scenery and getting out. That's why we do this trip, is to just get out and drive our cars. So the further we go, the less I think about everything else back home. We are leaning more and more into road trips simply because we love the getaway. We love getting out and driving our cars. And today is yet another day that I'm dying to putting miles on my car. And good news, I've got the Cayman GT4 back to OEM ride height. I've added the yellow wheels, as you can see, and the underbody had a panel that tore loose. And on one of our last trips, it was flapping like crazy and banging against the underside of the car. So I had it replaced, the panels replaced, and the alignment is now dead on.
We're going to make it a 2-day drive to get there. We're going to go from Park City to Jackson Hole and then Jackson Hole to Cody. And Cody is the eastern edge of Yellowstone National Park, and from there you can get up to Beartooth Pass and Chief Joseph Highway. It's a phenomenal way to get into Montana. Our friends at Power Stop actually supporting this trip, which we're thrilled about. We've got almost 20 cars with us, all kinds of cars. Many of them are colors. Thank you for buying cars in colors. So we're actually going to be a rolling car show for the next couple days, and I'm so excited.
We've had our encounter with law enforcement. They were very nice. We were respectful in town and being cool, and everybody was happy. No one got a ticket, so that's great news. And we're just continuing on our merry way. It's all good. Look at that. I mean, that's straight line. I mean, I feel like with the proper amount of speed, I could catch some air off some of these berms, but you know, I'm going to imagine it. We're behaving. We're good. I want to misbehave. Look at the ribbon of road ahead of us.
Have you seen Paul's car on this trip? Paul is leading with his yellow wheels on his GT4, so he's up there. Mandy now has her Boxster wrapped in a toothpaste color that is impossible to miss. We do have a couple of 86 chassis, in fact 3. We've got one red BRZ. Mike's here with the show's old GR86 that he is using as his only car and loves it. That car's been amazing to him. He has well over 35,000 miles on it and a lot of actual track days and autocross, and it runs wonderfully. And in front of me is another blue one. So that's 3 86 chassis in this. We've got a couple of Boxsters, Paul's Cayman, but we have other cars. Believe it or not, there are 2 Lotus Emiras on this trip. One is my V6, the other is another Paul. He has the actual dual clutch 4-cylinder AMG motor in that, so we have both of them represented. How often do you see those except for a Lotus show? A couple of M cars from BMW, an old Targa 4S 911, which is very cool. Monica and Nugget are back with their Portofino Ferrari. One of the things that came organically from all these trips is this car swapping thing. We don't insist on it, it's not a requirement of the trip, but various people have started over the years to just regularly do it. So you see a lot of key swapping. It's one of the great benefits of doing these trips.
This is how to make Mondays great. Go on a road trip, leave all your emails behind, leave work behind, deal with it at lunch, deal with it at your stops, but the rest of the time, you've got to find places like this. We are rolling into Bear Lake. I'm hungry for lunch. Look at that color. Every time I've been here, it never fails. It's rather entertaining to look at the reactions of people when we go to gas stations because, yeah, there's some special cars here. We've got a Ferrari, we've got this GT4, we've got 2 Emiras, we've got some special cars on this trip. But one of those cars by itself is not as interesting as all these cars in a lineup. So this thing forms. People see all these cars together. Even GR86s somehow become special. I mean, they are, but somehow even more so when they're in this lineup all together. part of being on a road trip is dealing with traffic through town. But in Jackson, I can't say I mind too much. It's just so nice here. I'm really starting to fall in love with Jackson. Antler everything and these famous arches here. This is what Jackson is known for. I mean, one of the things, but here you go. Famous antler arch. There's antler chandeliers, there's antler furniture. A lot of stuff made from antlers. It's just one of those towns you just want to walk around, crisp fall day, walk around with your coffee, enjoy some art, talk about the scenery you're gonna see.
For our second day, it's actually kind of a slow speed day. We spend most of the day in Yellowstone National Park, which means you can't go quickly. There's too much traffic, there's too many animals. It's gorgeous, but it is a scenery-focused day. So all those that are riding right seat that don't want to go fast love this day. Those of us that want to go fast are satisfied by the fact that the scenery is amazing.
Yeah, around this corner, we've got one more hill blocking our view, and then the Teton should come into view.
The camera doesn't do the height justice at all.
Just spectacular. Every time I come here, it is so beautiful. It's so intriguing to me.
So the challenge and difficulty of driving through a national park is, hey, that person pulled over. That wasn't even planned. That was wonderful. Thank you for that. Is that we've got a line of 20 cars, so you don't want to exceed the speed limit. It's a federal speeding ticket if you do, which means you have to come back to the park for it. But also the fact that we've got 20 cars. We're not going to pull off any weird passing maneuver in a national park with a lot of people around us. But some of these roads just beg for you to drive quickly. At the same time, these roads are spectacular. We're coming down out of the eastern entrance of Yellowstone Park right now. Incredible winding road, downhill all the way to Cody, Wyoming. This is why we take these trips, is roads like this. Of course, it is fits and starts when you come out of a national park because there's a lot of RVs, there's a lot of families going real slow, and I understand that. You want to see the scenery, you don't want to throw all your pots and pans around in the RV. I get it.
On your right up high is the Smith Mansion. The builder just kept adding onto it, and then one day he fell off the roof and it killed him.
And we're going to try to stop at one of the goofy things we've brought up on one of our past road trips, and that is the Bob's Big Boy. And I don't mean the restaurant, I just mean the guy, the statue just standing in the middle of a field, perfectly manicured, Bob. It's just Bob. One of the other upsides to doing this with a bunch of strangers from across the whole nation is you find out about jobs and careers and lives that people have led that you didn't even know existed. And they've had a very successful, blessed life having a career you never imagined.
We're in Cody, Wyoming this morning, and you know how Jackson is really art galleries and coffee shops? The difference with Cody is that it's souvenir shops and boot shops, you know, with clothing and Western wear. You can just tell it's just a different town, but it has a good flavor too.
Right now it feels like, well, what cool drive road is around here? There can't be anything cool. It's just kind of dusty and feels a little bit like, okay, it's the Old West and all right, but it doesn't feel like there's going to be an epic driving road lurking anywhere around here, but there is. We got to go up 120 out of Cody, headed toward the eastern edge of Yellowstone National Park, and then we work our way up Chief Joseph Highway, and then it's Beartooth Pass. I want you to know where these are. I don't want to hide them from you. I want you to know. Sometimes people are trying to keep them secret. The difficulty here is trying to get there when there's not a lot of people. We're after Labor Day, we're on a weekday, these are key, but this road also is a transit road. We see semis on it every single time we do it. We see people, UPS, FedEx, they come out there too. People live out there. So it is a road that's just used to get places, but not that often, and it is truly epic. It's one of my favorite roads in the world. I haven't even been all over the world. It's still one of my favorite roads in the world. I hope it always is, because I just love taking people here.
And this morning, we're going to be doing some car swapping, because that's what happens on these adventures. People just kind of want to get a sense of what that other car drives. So when you come on one of these trips, you can choose to swap cars. You can ask if you want. And people might let you drive their car. I just a note of caution that you might go home and search for that car. And so everybody complains that these trips are really expensive for them because they drive a new car on a great road and go home and buy one for themselves. and that's happened over and over. It's so entertaining.
This is a time machine, which is why I wanted to drive it. This is a 2003 BMW, and at first glance you just go, it's a 2003 four-door BMW. Okay, whatever. But it's the ZHP. Now the ZHP is significant. We've talked about it before on the show. That's because during the early 2000s era, this is an 03, during the early 2000s when BMW made their iconic M3, the E46 that everybody loves, right, with the great straight six, during that era they didn't make a four-door version of the M3. The closest they got was this ZHP, which is not the over 300 horsepower motor that was in the E46, but it's better built up for performance, and it's just a trim package. The ZHP pack was literally something you could pick when you bought your four-door 3 Series. This is a 20-year-old car, more than 20 years old, and it feels like you could have bought it now. It is so clean. Aaron, who's followed the show for a while, he has taken this car and made it not a project car like it didn't run, a project car like, can I make this stock or better? So Aaron's taken this and he's redone all the bushings actually just in the last year. And one of the things he told me when I first drove this car is how much time he spent laboring with washers, because he took apart the manual transmission and just wanted to get away from the BMW rubbery feel of the transmission, wanted to make it the best shifting BMW he'd come across, and he nailed it. This is a fantastic shifter action, and to be in this car again is amazing because he's just refreshed the suspension. Now there's body roll, there's significant body roll. This is a soft four-door compared to especially many of the performance cars that are on this trip, but it's all so well sorted and very taut. Now, it doesn't feel modern. It feels a little more analog and classic because, again, it's a 20-plus-year-old car. But BMWs have gotten heavy, and they've gotten mute, and lightning fast. This is none of the above, and I actually think it's better for it. Okay, so not a ton of power, but enough power for all the things in life. This is that power range, kind of like the GR86, which many people say isn't nearly enough because you've been driving an SUV with 600 horsepower that's an EV. But this is plenty for all the things you need in life, and the dynamics are excellent. It is quite soft. I have to acknowledge that it is quite soft. At any of these corners, as soon as you turn in, you realize the body is going, wait, what are we doing? And trying to catch up. But then it does, it settles, and the dynamics are reliable. It does exactly what you tell it. Yeah, that's floorboarded. I'm at altitude. It's fine, it's fine. I've got power, I'm gaining, but there's nothing about this that's gonna wow you in power because it's not the M3 engine. Still a straight six. Have I mentioned how good the gearbox is? Why is a BMW gearbox that good? It's superb. I'm very appreciative to Aaron for letting this car come on the trip. I know that sounds weird, but Aaron's actually not here. One of our other drivers, Jeremy, who has that red NC Miata we drove on Tail of the Dragon, he had a problem with his NC when he was driving out, and he just barely reached Aaron in Denver, and they know each other from our Discord. And so Jeremy had this problem and needed a car, and Aaron said, leave the Miata, since it needs a part, leave it at my house. I'll give you the ZHP, you can drive that. So Jeremy still came on the trip in Aaron's well-sorted BMW, and now I get to drive it again, which is awesome.
So for this car swap, I have asked our friend Harry for his newly acquired 2015 Audi R8. I've never driven the automated manual, and I always discounted the R8. I mean, well, if it didn't come with the manual, I sort of thought, you know what, not really interested. But on this one, Harry just bought this from a friend who's got it lowered, only 54,000 miles on it. He's got a sport exhaust, Lamborghini wheels, and said, you know what, if you just use the paddles, it's actually pretty good. This is the V8 with 430 horsepower and the 7-speed automated manual. It's, you know what, it feels crisp and tight and interesting. This car feels planted and sorted and fast. See, this is the kind of thing that we want you to experience on these trips, is find a car that kind of makes you fall in love with cars again, fall in love with driving, you make good friends, and maybe you're shopping all of a sudden. Chance is having a hard time holding onto the camera, as you've noticed. He's gripping with everything he's got. Harry is not wrong for buying this. It's fun. This is a great GT car for this trip. It just feels planted and sorted, and it doesn't feel fragile and breakable or any of that stuff. It just feels ready. We are now on Chief Joseph Highway, and this is the part that I was telling you about. That is the warm-up section. Just shakes out the cobwebs. You start to really wake up. Just get into driving, and man, does it feel good. This car is about 3,680 pounds. You can feel the weight. You can feel that all-wheel drive. It's that thick molasses feeling up front. You can feel that syrupy steering kind of feel. But you know what? It tracks well and it's precise. And there's cows, because of course. It wouldn't be an adventure without cows and open range. It just wouldn't feel the same. So the other cool thing about these adventures is everybody's got a radio in their car, and while they're a little bit crappy, they're just good enough for you to hear a few cars front and back, and everybody wants to help everybody else. And call traffic, call rocks in the road, call out livestock, cows in the road. We feel like a team. It's this active engagement. We're not just in a line of cars. Everybody's helping everybody else move this entire line of cars safely, quickly up the hill. So, we're helping you find your new car. We are giving you a great fun driving road. You might drive something that you like and you want to go home and buy. You know what? It's just about making friends and having a wonderful time. So, this is what we want you to experience.
Another Todd, not me, brought this on this adventure. This is a 997, so early 2000s era 911, which I've driven before, and it's actually one of my very favorite generations of the 911. But this is a model I haven't driven before, and I talk about kind of a lot, because if I bought a 911, I've always thought maybe it would be this trim. For the 997 in the Targa version, the Targa is a very famous version of the 911, but for the 997 generation, this is a Targa 4S, which means it has this all-glass back. And this one that Todd has is about as clean as I've ever seen. 99,000 miles on this, you would never know it. It's essentially the better part of a 20-year-old car. And it is pretty much spotless in here. Now, it is the PDK, of course. I'm gonna say it'd be awesome to have the manual, but the PDK is working great. It is the old style buttons. It's the push-pull thumb buttons that Porsche did for a while on their steering wheels to work with the PDK. That's outdated. It's been outdone. But it does work. I can't deny that it works. It's just not the way I normally interact with a car. That means you can go up or down on either side, which is cool. The ergonomics makes sense. The Porsche engineering works. It's just not what's become industry standard. So in that regard, it feels a little different and odd compared to everything else. And it does have that glass panel on the actual back, can work like a hatch. But then all of this roof panel folds back into it and opens it up differently than the other Targas, which have been a more traditional Targa. So there are those that didn't like this generation because it's not like the Targa panel of the others, but that's kind of what makes this my favorite. The current Carrera 4 and 4S just feel really mute in steering compared to these. I'm a big fan of this 997, and this is, for me, this is peak 911. It really is. This is when it's at its best. This is the one that makes me want to buy one. It's this 997 era. And I already knew that, but this Targa is so quirky and unique. This is definitely the one I would get. It really is. And now the problem is I've been ruined because this one is so clean. I don't think there's another one out here that's this clean. Such a nice car. Such a different car. I know that sounds ridiculous because it's the 911 and they're ubiquitous. You see a ton of them. But these Targas like this, they have the wider hips of the 4S and the turbos, which is really cool, but it's not the big turbo motor. Plenty of power here still. We got this incredibly cool line of cars in this unbelievable scenery. I love this road so much. And running sweeper right now and actually getting at the back of everybody as they go through this wilderness is amazing. Here are the flat six. Love it. This just works. It just works. This is the 911 that I like the most. This era and this Targa is unique. I could totally see this as a errand and winter car. Now the problem is it's already 20 years old, and a good one like this is probably going to be 60 or 70 grand. This is as nice as I have ever seen one. And at that point, I probably would buy something else. 911s have such a price premium, and I can't believe I'm getting to drive one of them right now on this road. That's really cool. Come on now. Come on. Very nice. Very nice. I'm not a huge acolyte of the 911, as you know, but I do get it. I do understand. And I very much understand this. Look at that. Look at that. I love this road. We're coming in to the eastern edge of Yellowstone right now, and the scenery's getting epic. Hasn't been bad prior, but it's amazing right now.
And now for something completely different, our friends Rudy and Mylene have brought their 2025 Acura Integra Type S. And the reason I asked them to drive this car is because I liked it so much and I wanted to drive it again and remember, and I wasn't wrong. 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, front wheel drive. The steering is direct. It's a heavier front end feel instantly, but it just feels sorted. So Sport Plus, all right. It just hangs on. I mean, I want more bolstering, but oh, this is such a great all-arounder. We've recommended the Type S to many people, mainly because of how much space you get in the back seat, and it's a fun car. They chose well. Look at this line of cars. See, then we got everybody following this cool line of cars. That's what you're gonna see. It doesn't matter where in the pack that you are, and I think people also feel like they're obligated to stay in the same position, which is not the case. It's not true. You can switch positions, but if you're all the way at the back like we are, you get to see this cool line of cars snaking down through the canyon. It's really satisfying. See, look at this long line of cars all the way out there. See it? We'll get over the guardrail here. Look at that. See, this is what you get to see when you're at the back of the pack. You get to see what others are experiencing and then go ask them, hey, how'd you like that car? Usually the answer is going to be something along the lines of crap. I'm going to start shopping now. Usually it's some answer like that. Moments of slowing down. We've got traffic up ahead, a Sprinter van, you know, van life. Okay. It's fine. It's all fine. But, you know, see all the Skittles colors of all the cars moving through? Yeah, that's no bad thing. So far, I've driven two very different cars, and that was the plan. Revisit the Audi R8, which was truly sorta, really liked it. It actually kind of cleansed me and reset my meter about R8s. And the Acura Integra Type S. This hangs, man. This is great for this adventure. And you know what? No is also a perfectly acceptable answer. If you don't want to let anybody drive your car and you're not comfortable driving someone else's, that's okay too. But either way, come on one of these adventures with us. Just forget about your life, forget about everything else, and come drive.
Well, this is both different and kind of wonderful. There's kind of a great nostalgia for me with this car because this is the same era WRX almost as the Saab 92X, the Subaru that I owned. This is a 2002 WRX wagon, Frankenbuild. Do you see the license plate? That means Frankenbuild because this is Josh's car. Josh and his dad, Richard, have joined us for like the last 5 years on all of our adventures. And every year, Richard, his dad, has driven a car on the meetup that then he's liked so much that he's bought one for the next year. And he keeps test driving and using our adventures as test drives. It's super fun. But Josh has kind of grown up with us on these trips, which is really cool. And he become a car guy even though he hasn't been old enough to drive. Well, now he's almost old enough to drive. Well, behind the scenes, Josh and his brother have been building this car. They bought it, not running, in need of an engine. They put an engine in it, and when they first started it, the engine blew up again. Oops. So now it is WRX heads on top of an STI brand new short block. And it's kind of brilliant. It really is great. I mean, Josh, good on you, man. This is really, really solid. Gearbox is good. Steering rack is base WRX, though they changed of course, all the bushings and that kind of stuff, so it's been refreshed. Brand new suspension on here. That makes all kinds of difference. They picked coilovers when they did the suspension, and that has really made this car ride wonderfully. Whoa, yeah, WRX all-wheel drive. put your foot in it, have it pull you around. Very nice, Josh. This is a fun little car. It's playful. It's just that first car playfulness that you hope for. That's what this has. I mean, it's a wagon, so, you know, it's not the most agile thing ever, but the coilovers have helped. I forgot the steering racks on these were this slow. I'm having to work the steering rack, but that's okay. The little turbo blow off, the whistle when you wind it up. It's just a little circus going on in here. This is fun. I think I stole an opportunity from you, Josh. You should be driving your own car on this part of the road. I'm sorry, you need to drive your own car on this part of the road later, because this is fun, man. This is great. Probably a little loud for cross country. They came all the way in from Washington. That'd get a little annoying, but you know what? Look, also everything works. You have to know that. Air conditioning, stereo, we're very comfortable. These seats have held up great. This is what a WRX can be, unless your engine blows. And let's be honest, they bought it with a blown engine, then they blew the first engine. I mean, we know that Subaru things happen, but when they run, they're just endearing, and this is a great little build. This is the fun of these trips. We get to try other people's cars. We get to be surprised by what other people brought. And one of the greatest things is to get in somebody else's car and go, I love this. And they get back in yours and go, I love my car. Both of those experiences are really special. And a lot of people have that when they're on these trips. This is a snorty little beast, Josh. I'm in lead right now. That's a lot to ask this car, is to lead this crew. We got Ferraris and R8s. We're flying. Very cool.
When Todd and I were first embarking upon this show, we played driving games endlessly. And we spec'd wagons because we were into wagons, and it was also because I had that Audi Avant. I had that set up in the game, in Gran Turismo, and kind of built out. And so Todd, of course, you remember his Subaru, he had that spec'd out, and we were racing wagons in Gran Turismo, and this reminds me of that. Forged internals, fully built, exhaust, coilovers, everything has been touched on this car in an effort to make it a driver, bulletproof. 205 horsepower, 200 at the wheels, dynoed at the wheels, and 205 pound-feet of torque. It's got lots of torque. And Richard and Josh said that this engine is built for reliability at about 500 or 600 horsepower, but they're keeping it to lower horsepower levels in an effort to make it pretty bulletproof in stock. This one is light on its toes. I feel like I'm sitting very upright, and I am. The odometer currently says 282,000. They have breathed new life into this car. You know what? It is fun. It's got so much torque, just twitchy, instant throttle. The steering is light. I mean, we're not on incredible high-performance tires. That's okay. These are quad tracks from Vredestein. I think I recognized them on this car. Thank you to PowerStop for sponsoring this video. We really appreciate their partnership, their friendship. PowerStop.com for OEM +1 upgrades. This car has the Z26 upgrade. You know what? It feels great. This car does not feel its age. Congratulations to Josh for building something really cool. It's a Frankenbuild. What a cool concept, man. It drives straight, true, lots of power. He's breathed new life into this car. It doesn't drive like the age or car would suggest. And they have been also very generous with letting other people drive it. So whether you allow people to drive your car or not, it doesn't matter. Come on one of our adventures, find great driving roads, great friends, great cars. That's what we're all about. I keep saying, you know, that's what we're all about here. When you go home and you start shopping for a car, that's what we do here.
I'm saying there was a furniture delivery truck. That's what's amazing about this road, is it actually is a road that gets some transit traffic, which is unbelievable on a road this tight and this high. We're going to go over Beartooth Pass in a minute, 11,000 feet, but we're just working our way up. This is part of my favorite stretch of this road, is like this 10 or 15 mile part right up above the tree line. Tight, guardrails, mountain passes, just love it.
There's nowhere to look. There's nowhere to look. up inside my eyelids. I don't know.
And as spoiled as Paul and I are to get to drive great cars and to get to see great roads, there's something really special about sharing it and getting out to ones that we don't normally drive, because we don't normally come to Beartooth Pass. It's too far away. It's far away from everything. But if you can make the time, come with us. Thanks to PowerStop for not only being a good sponsor with product that we like, but also just saying to us, we want to see a video that is about what you guys really do. What's at the core of what you do? What kind of thing is Everyday Driver really about? And it's this. It's almost become family. It's much beyond a cars and coffee. This is the kind of car gathering you should be a part of. Oh, Mira sounds good today.
It's Thursday, the trip is over, we're headed home, and I think this is probably the best Beartooth trip we've ever had so far. We had excellent weather. I mean, it rains here and there, but the weather was amazing. The scenery was stunning. It lived up to its name, and everybody told us how much fun they have, and we want you to come with us on one of them sometime. Thank you to PowerStop for sponsoring this video and for bringing to you watching, hopefully, that feel, that get away from it all, go discover, drive great cars, make good friends, eat good food. I also keep making the joke that we're a foodie group with a car problem.